All right, test 1 2 1 2 1 2. I think I'm live. Hello everyone. And welcome to the brand new Next Decade. Hey, what's up everybody? Thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. So this is the new version of the stream. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you can't tell, I look a little bit frazzled. I'm tired, so I decided to drop the hat, pull off the hair, and let it hang out and just enjoy tonight. So here we'll get the tunes going again. We're going to keep it playing a little bit low. If it's too quiet, let me know. If I'm too quiet, let me know. Dustin, my hair got longer. Actually, it got shorter. I got a haircut like last week. So it actually used to be like past my shoulder. I was actually really surprised and I decided, you know what? It's time for a haircut. So I got a haircut. Alrighty. So I see I got a couple of messages in the chat. So let me go back up there and let's take care of what I missed. Kiss Fanatic says hello. Hello. Toageki says, I'm gonna add Tajador to my cosplay list. I remember when I tried to do Tajador. Best of luck to you. I'm sure you can do it. Do your best. If you need help, holler. Audio Dragon says hello. Hello. Monstrosities. Tokusatsu Vlog says, Dear Dustin, why are you so awesome? Isn't Decade the best? Love a Pelosi hack XOXOXOXO. Hey, buddy. Yes, Decade's the best, and thank you. I am pretty cool, apparently. Twitter really liked what I had to say this week, and a lot of people have liked what I had to say this week. So we'll get into that here in just a couple minutes. Let's get through the rest of everybody else in here. Dawnbreaker says, Hey, Matt. Thanks for coming to my stream, Dawnbreaker, and addressing me, the host. I get it. It's cool. We're only working on a project together. What's that? Is that a tease for something happening later? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it is. Ooh. Is anybody still watching from last night? Because I know I am. Hey, Blackwing 2040. Yeah, I've been up. I haven't been able to sleep much. It's been busy. Spin Dash says, Hey, everyone. Last night was a blast. You mean today for me? Because yes, it's been nonstop. It's been absolutely nonstop. Audio's coming in clear. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Kevin. I'm glad you like the new layout. I've been working on this all morning, trying to make it look a little better. We're only about halfway to what I want, but we're going to be getting into that again a little bit later. Lots of updates today, lots of stuff to talk about. Hi, Don. Do you still live in Japan or are you back in the States? I am back in the States. I'm trying to get back out to Japan. The problem is that if you're an American, you can only stay there for at most 3 months at a time, unless you want to hop from one country to another for like a week and then come back. But that can look really suspicious. So I'm trying to go about it the right way and either try to get a gig or just enjoy 3 months of the year at a time out there if I can. So hoping to be back next year, assuming stuff of the pandemic finally dies down. But if it doesn't, crap. Yeah, see, it's really strange because some countries they can actually be up there for upwards of a year or longer, and they can get work vacation visas, so they can stay there and just chill and get a part-time job. Seems cool. I wish I could do that. Some people are lucky. I really wish I could do that. But the next route I could also take is teaching English, but I don't think I'd be very good at that. No offense, I'm sure some people are really good at it, like my buddy Kevin, who's in here. What's up, Kev? Aha! I'm glad you guys noticed the barcode. I was trying to think like what could I put around the border that would make this look a little bit more interesting because I don't really. I mean, I have a green screen set up, but I don't have the computer moved to where I want it just yet to actually do any of that. So eventually we'll have a cool backdrop. But for now, you get Waz, the leopard gecko, some build stuff, Kamen Rider bag from one of the stores, some UFO ramen, and then the Ixa helmet. So there you go. Blackwing, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That was a lot of fun. Heisei Week was a absolute blast, and I would love to do stuff like that again. It was so much fun. Dom, did you cut your hair? Yes, I got a haircut because that was getting way too long. Absolutely too long. You missed a toy wall. Don't worry. We're gonna try to implement that again here. If I can get the green screen up and running the way I want it to be working, I could just take a picture of it and then use that as a backdrop, if that's what you guys would like to see. So, all right. So I just want to give you guys a quick heads up how we're going to be doing this. I'm testing out a bunch of new stuff with this streaming setup today. So, if I need to stop for a second, I got a BRB page. If I got to mute myself, or if there's any audio issues, shout it out. Just let me know. Toy wall's over there. It's over there, but there's a bunch of other stuff in the way, and my room's an absolute disaster. I got cosplay stuff, I got the stream stuff, I got my computer, and just other clothes and junk laying around. So like until until I can move my computer over, no toy wall for now. Costume's looking good. It's coming along really well, and I am super excited to get further into it. But for now, I'm taking a little bit of time. Next week, I'm taking a break. I had a vacation planned for my birthday, and then Team Kamen Rider popped up, and they're like, "Hey, Heisei stream," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there. When do you want me?" And they're like, "All week," and I'm like, "Okay, cool, I'll do it." So I did, and it was totally worth it. It was so much fun. It was an absolute blast. So, let's start getting into the meat and potatoes of things I wanted to talk about. So we're going to talk about the Heisei week for about 15-20 minutes here, and then I'm going to take a short break, go grab some water, and then we'll come back and we'll start talking about some other stuff. I think we'll do like 15 to 30 minute segments, and then I'll take 5-10 minute breaks in between, let the music play out, and put up the BRB screen. But before we get into all the stuff that's happening over with the Heisei week, I'd be remiss not to do something that we were doing all week on the streams. Just one moment. Be sure to go check out the Bluefin Bands page and go check out the sales. You only have a few hours left to buy anything that's on sale, and I just want to show you guys something that's like really cool. I wasn't told to do this. I'm just doing it because, check this out. Out of stock. That one's still for sale. I say grab it. The Kabuto is a really, really good figure. Zio's also a good figure, and a lot of people love the Kuga one. So, check out those Figure Eye standards. They are great model kits. We also got the double pack still going. Shinchoko Seiho Kamen Rider Den-O looks absolutely great. The Luminous Kamen Rider sets, the premium Bandai Soto Chronicle Kamen Rider Kuga Golden Power sets. There's a lot of stuff on here that's still on sale, and some of the things will be here tomorrow. A lot of these things won't be. So get them while you can. Pre-order stuff, buy stuff. Just if you want to help Kamen Rider get over here and you want to support the show in a way where they're going to be getting your money, this is a great way to do it. So please go ahead and go do that. All right, cool. Shameless plugs out of the way. I hope David liked that. So, yeah. So let's talk about Heisei week. I'm gonna bring the music down just a little bit more so I can get my thoughts straight. Being asked to do Heisei week was absolutely insane. So I didn't even know that it was going to be happening. I had an inkling that something was going to be coming up soon. I've been hearing a lot of things from a bunch of different people, from whether it be friends of Shout Factory, or friends of Team Rider, or just random internet rumblings. So I was already working with Team Rider on the Ixa project before we decided we're doing the Heisei stream, or they just didn't tell me, and they were just going to be like, okay, cool, glad you got something done, cool. So you want to come stream? And I was like, yeah, sure, when? And they're like, all week. And I'm like, yeah. So for my birthday, I got to start off Heisei week with talking about Kamen Rider Kuga through Faiz. And I got to say this about all the people I streamed with. I really wish we weren't restricted to just an hour. I wish we had an hour or two. Because I feel like we were slowly getting into a groove. A lot of people were getting more comfortable with each other, making some jokes, and just bringing up more fun stuff from Rider. And I feel like we had to rush through each one. And I think because we had to rush a little bit, we didn't really give everybody a really, really good idea of what's a good starter or not. But I was actually turned around and told, no, because I saw a lot of people tweeting at me this weekend, just being like, hey, I haven't checked this stuff out, but I liked what you said, so I'm going to go look at it. And I love doing that. I really, really do love doing that. Getting people excited about Kamen Rider, and then them telling me hey, I'm gonna go watch it. It's like Cool. Tell me what you think, because I'd love to hear what you have to say. And same goes for all of you too. Like if you are getting into a new writer series or something, just tweet at me. Let me know. Maybe I'll retweet you. Maybe I'll retweet your live tweets, and then other people can see what you're thinking about your current writer obsession. Um, so I got to give a huge shout out and thank you to David from Team Writer. I the fact I got to do this at all blows my mind. Half the stuff that's happened to me because of just being a writer fan, being so vocal about it, blows my mind. And this is just another thing that just keeps adding on top of that list of stuff that's like, oh yeah, that happened, and you were a part of it. I words cannot thoroughly express my feelings on that. I'm just at a complete loss of words. I'm just thank you. Thank you so damn much. It means so much. It really means so much. And then seeing all of you guys coming out to support all of it, it means even more. Like the fact that we have so many people in there watching those streams, that's what Toei and Bandai wanted to see. Um, and the other part that's I think's really cool is there's a bunch of other writer fans that were completely super busy this week doing other things, whether it be getting out there and working because they're essential workers or having to take care of families at home. Just the fact that we had that many people, even in the middle of all this stuff, show up was awesome. It's like you look at the numbers and you're like, oh, that seems like kind of a small number, but then you think about how many people, like that large group of number of people, try mashing them into a room, like a small like panel room. Like you just filled a whole room. That's a massive amount of people to bring in there. That's technically 2% of Anime Expo if you really think about it. 2,000 people. If it's 100,000 people at the convention, that's 2%. So just the fact that they're getting this kind of attention is super exciting. And to UK and AU friends, I posted about this earlier on Twitter. I've been talking with a lot of different people. We're trying to find the right folks to talk to you to get these things out to you as well. I understand the frustration of having to wait for things to get through America first to get to you, and that's why me as a writer fan, trying to help other writer fans, I'm trying to do my best to get you guys in contact with the right people so you guys can be on your bikes and on the road with us in no time. And then from there, we want to go further. We want to go to as many other Western countries as we can, even if they don't speak English. I'm surprised France doesn't have. If I'm back, let me know. Okay, cool. I think I'm back. Sorry about that. So, what I was saying was, yeah, we want to get the right people so we can get you guys in contact with them so then we can get you on the road. And then we want. I'm surprised France isn't with us yet. I'd love to get Russia in there too. Just I mean anywhere else in Europe essentially, and then start moving down. How crazy would it be if people could be watching Kamen Rider in the Congo? Like, let's be real, that'd be really cool. I think that'd be absolutely rad. I say this whenever I meet a lot of the like business people when I'm in Japan, and I end up meeting people or cast and crew. Um, Ore no yume wa Kamen Rider no sekai. My dream is Kamen Rider World. I want kids all around the world in belts, jumping and kicking and enjoying this show, and maybe learning something, maybe treating each other better, and just having something good to look forward to every week. Because I know how hard it can be, from being a kid to being an adult, like day by day, stuff can get tough, and just having that little bit of hope of knowing, like, oh, hey, I have that thing to look forward to this week. That could be enough to get people going, and I think that's important. So, yeah, that's one of my dreams. I got a bunch of dreams, and like the thing that's killing me, that's driving me crazy, is I have a dream. I follow my path to try to make that thing happen, and one way or another, it does. Um, so like one of my dreams was to, if I wasn't going to be the guy that brought Ryder over here, I wanted to be standing alongside the people who were, so I can have their back and help them along the way. And what did I just do this week? And like at the New York meet and the AX meet, like any chance I had to help them to push things along, I did. And like I said, if I wasn't gonna be the guy, then I would stand alongside the people that would, and I did. And the folks that are doing it are way more talented than I am, and much more. uh, much more intelligent individuals, I think. So everybody over at Team Rider and Tokusatsu, thank you, really thank you so much, and people at Bandai Toei, if you guys see this, uh, thank you, thank you to. And when I get back out there, let me take you guys to Yakiniku. I know a place in Tachikawa called Meat Punch. It's awesome. I'm sure you guys would very much like it. Choi Shidas. I love it. I'll make up fake mashups just to say it. I just said super tasty. Yeah, I'll go that weeby for you, just for you guys. All right. So, let's talk about some more of the Heisei streams. They all went really, really well. The only thing that seemed to be an issue was we lost David for like 0.5 seconds on one of the streams, and then Toku Chris getting time jacked by the time jackers. Poor guy. I felt so bad. It was like every single time he had something to say, it would cut, and we'd all be sitting there for 10 seconds, like, yes, go on. Oh, he cut out. Okay, everyone just smile and nod. Okay, cool. Oh, he's back. Great, cool. And then he had the one 10-minute second where he just waited, let it buffered for a second, and then the minute he spoke, it did it anyways. I was trying so hard not to lose it. I still cracked up, like, but it was just if that's the only technical issues we had, that's the best thing that could have happened, because even then it was funny. Um, I'm thoroughly pleased with how everything went on the streams, the panel, and the big movie stream itself. So let's just get into that. Um, Whoever's doing translations over for Shout is doing a great job. I'm not usually somebody that wants everything subtitled, but like I'm so used to Fudu Fudu bottle blast for the cannon for Build's cannon thing. The fact they just named it Full Bottle Shakeup cannon and Full Bottle Shakeup blast. I'm fine with it. It sounds like fun, and it's almost like what you would expect for them to be if they were over here, anyways. Um, but on the other hand, that's where I do kind of get a little bit upset. Um, One of the reasons why I like Kamen Rider so much is that it's one of those shows where just by listening to the stuff that happens, either whether it be through the belt or things said by characters, you start to pick up on the language, and you start picking up on like the fun, like slangy kind of parts of the language, the stuff that you usually wouldn't get from sitting and learning at a class or reading a textbook. So I kind of like having those kind of not completely translated things in there. But on the other hand, though, I also do really appreciate how they're translating it. So I'm just in the boat of fine with it. I can also just listen and try to pick up on words and translations that way too. Um, like everybody else, but whatever. The stream though, we were just short of 2,400 people watching at once. That is awesome. That's really cool, and like that's also not including the crowd that was like, oh no, I'm too busy watching Superhero Tyson, or oh, I'm not in the America crowd, so I can't really watch it, but we're there in spirit, like that whole thing. That just solidified in my mind that we need to go further out. We need to do anything we can for those other guys, because what if we could triple this in less than 6 months? What if we can go from um, a year ago, oh hey, Kamen Rider's coming to the West, or to America, to oh hey, Kamen Rider's everywhere. You see what I mean? Like these guys are moving quick. So like anytime you guys see the Team Rider folks or the Tokusatsu folks, just go thank them. Please thank them. They're working hard. Um, but the movie stream, the chat was amazing. Um, we had a few people jump in there trying to be really crappy and just like, Forze sucks, or oh, here comes the worst rider ever, Ghost wearing a trash can, like that whole thing. Um, the minute those people showed up, the mods didn't have to do anything because everybody just bodied those people and moved along with more positivity and kept it flowing. And just watching the numbers rise up, seeing them peak at certain points like I expected them to, and then seeing how many people were there at the very last second right before the movie completely ended. We had like 1,000 people just there from the beginning to the end almost. It really feels that way. Like the start, it was like about 500, 900 somewhere in there, but eventually we hit 1,000. We never dropped past that until the movie completely ended, which was like you can't even get people to stay in theaters. seats to watch the whole credit sequence, let alone on their computer where they're 2 seconds away from hitting Twitter or Facebook right when that thing ends and just Xing out. And we had people staying in chat so long. Wait, 2.6K? We had more than 2.4? Oh, that's what I get for looking down for too many seconds. I was too busy typing on Twitter like, this is amazing. I've seen the movie like so many times to this point that I practically can watch it in Japanese and still understand it. But yeah, 2.6. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's super cool. Oh man, whoa! Okay, so we broke our Steam stream record. Usually the most we get is like 20, and we're sitting at 38. So hi everybody, how y'all doing today? I appreciate y'all coming in. This is the first of the new streams. I hope you enjoy it. It looks more professional than any other ones. While I'm stopped for a second, I want to give a shout out really quickly. Uh, Hex09, I think that's what their Twitter handle is, Hex09. They came up with this really cool logo and like chibi doodle of me, and when I saw it, I was like, "That's really damn good." I've been trying to find a way to make a new logo for months, so I copied it. I hope you don't mind. If you want some dosh, let me know. I'd be more than willing to throw you a couple bucks because that design is great and had a lot of fun making it. I just didn't really want to separate from the Ichigo silhouette either, so I took the old intro and this new one and mashed them together. So there's the new logo. I hope you guys like it. Looks neat. I hope you guys like the transition too. Like, I had a lot of fun putting this new stream setup together. So like, if you guys like this, I'm gonna have even better streams in the future. Patreon's coming up, and that's gonna be strictly cosplay stuff and education-based cosplay stuff. So, um, well, I'm also going to be doing like video stuff up there too. I'm still going to share like early footage and keep you guys in the loop of new things. But we'll get to the Patreon a little bit later because there's a lot about that I need to talk to. We'll get to that when we get to the update section. I'm just so excited because I haven't had this many people watching at once, and this is cool. All right, so the final verdict on Heisei Week. I hope we could just change it to Kamen Rider Week and just do this every year. Every, second week of July, we do Kamen Rider Week, and it's just our time to be like, um, hey, this is when we got Kamen Rider. This is when we finally got to say, hey world, look, we like this stuff too, and we want you to watch it with us. And what would be better than having a whole week where you could sit there and, you know, just hang out with people online or even in person watching Kamen Rider and just having a damn good time. I know we don't need a day or a week to have an excuse to do that, but I think it'd be a great thing for us to do for some kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like community unity kind of stuff. Go look at the Ultraman crew. Like they all get together super hardcore when Ultraman stuff's going on. I'd love to see us all do the same thing. And instead of being the Kamen Rider fans of the past, where we all bickered and fought like it's a early Heisei series, why don't we end it off more like the late Heisei series, where everyone's a little bit more chill with each other and just happy to be around? That's not me saying like, hey guys, be nice to each other, but let's maybe not be nicer to each other, but be more forgiving of each other. How about that? Because there's a lot of things that I see us all fighting each other over, especially on Toku Twitter, and some of that we don't really need to be fighting over. We're here to watch dudes in spandex beat up dudes in rubber suits. Can we talk about how that guy got dropped on his head in that Megamax movie? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, tell you what, I'm going to go run and get some water real quick. I'm going to take a short break. So I will be back in 5 to 10 minutes, maybe sooner. So don't go anywhere. Keep chatting with each other. When I get back, I'll do some Q&A. All right, catch y'all very soon. Alrighty, let's get back into it. So, welcome back. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and go drop them in the chat. How'd I do that? Hands free. Crazy, right? Look at that. How'd I do that? How'd I do that? He didn't type with the keyboard at all. Yeah, before we go too crazy deep into this, I wanted to give a very special shout out to my girlfriend Katie. She knew how badly I wanted the Mini Ply Victory Robo set. So my favorite thing about this is that it comes with 5 pieces of Bandai Crack. So if you guys don't know what Bandai Crack is, I'm going to show you what Bandai Crack is, because if you've been skipping out on Bandai Crack, So essentially, all it is just a wonderful piece of candy that comes with a bunch of mini Pla and other candy toy sets. And they're amazing. They're ramen flavored and they're delicious. And another reason why I like digging for these first instead of actually making the model kit is that you just get to see the parts and appreciate them just like a little bit before you completely destroy the sprues and make your thing. Part of me really wants to go ham on this figure. Like, I don't want to just make it, you know? Like, I did that with the what's the name of it? Mega Robo. And that was fun. It's fun to make. But I don't really like the stickers that much. And I feel like I could paint it to where it looks a little bit more like the mechs in the show. So I think I might actually go all out on these guys. But if that's the case, I might have to wait a little while. But they will be done. This is my favorite Sentai Robo. Next to all the other ones. Oh, hey! Bluefin's here. What is up? Sorry to be plugging. Sorry, Bandai stuff, man. Love Bandai. Practically raised me with all those toys I got as a kid. So, anyways, Bandai Crack. Gotta love that ramen flavor, man. So good. So, I am gonna go through the chat real quick and answer a couple questions. So, if you got any questions, go ahead and ask them. And I'll do my best to answer you. Okay. Let's see what we got. Oh, I just noticed. Mason Lim says, I'm halfway through Wizard right now, which will be the last Heisei Rider series I haven't seen. Congratulations, welcome to the club. Like, I've seen almost all Heisei myself. I just gotta chug through those last few episodes of Blade and Hibiki, and I'm done. But I would recommend going to check out Showa Kamen Rider. The original is really good. It's very, very good. And if you don't want to start there, maybe check out Black or Blacker X. Black's really good. I really like Kamen Rider Black. That's a great series. I understand why people lose their minds for it so much. Alright. Oh, man. This is cool. I get to host my own thing, and the boys all showed up. Thank you all for coming. That really means a lot. I'm gonna change around the music. I'm gonna try to fix it so we can not get in trouble for it, but for tonight, we're celebrating. I'll take a copyright strike if I have to. So, anybody got any questions? Because I'm looking through and I'm not really seeing anything. Oh, Spin Dash says, oh my god, I'm literally building the Go-Go 5 kit right now. Very cool. I hope you're enjoying it. What's your next big project, cosplay, non-cosplay, besides Ixa? Well, in the middle of working on Tamashi, which is a documentary that's been through the ringer. Let me tell you. Yeah, you know what? Since I brought it up, let's go ahead and let's talk about Tamashi a little bit, because things have gotten a little bit weird. So, if you guys haven't noticed, a lot of things have happened this year. So when I initially started the project back in 2018, I was still under the assumption that we were somewhere from 3 to 5 years away from possible streaming for Kamen Rider and stuff like that. So, when we finally got the news that, oh, hey, something might be happening, I dropped everything and got my butt in gear to focus on that. And in the time that I've been so focused on Rider, I was missing all the signs for Ultraman doing the exact same thing. And It's just been a constant back and forth between the two, and I'm sitting here just like, oh my god, this is amazing, this is great. The purpose of the documentary is screwed. So the initial idea for the documentary was it was going to be a way for Western fans to voice their desire to get more tokusatsu stuff in the West. And then we got Kamen Rider, we got Ultraman, we got the Toei Tokusatsu channel. It's just like more and more stuff flowing through. Garo even on Blu-ray over here. Like, wow. I dropped the ball. I should have been faster, I guess. But there was just so many things I really wanted to get on that second trip. And a lot of things I got screwed over on that second trip. But that was just, it's a typhoon. What are you going to do? I saw a boat sitting halfway through a building. Like, once I saw that, I was like, you know what? I think this trip might be a bust as far as locations go. And it turned into a little bit more of building connections with people and just trying to, make as many moves over there as I could. So, but because of all these changes, I decided, you know what? No, I still want, the Western fans to get their voices heard on this because just because America's got it doesn't mean everybody else doesn't have it yet. So I'm actually in the process of looking for people outside of America and outside of the UK and outside Australia that like Kamen Rider that can, maybe say a few things of how they feel about the series and how they want it badly in their country too. So it's shifting from just, our desire to get the shows, to everybody's desires to get the shows. So not just the West. Like, I mean, we got so many people out there that want these things, so why not? Let's go for it. Let's go hard. So the other thing with Tamashi is that I'm also going to be trying to get a hold of a couple other special people for the documentary for interviews. Some folks that might be really hard to get a hold of, but I've already spoken to before. So we'll see if we can make it happen. At the moment, it looks like Tamashi might get pushed to winter or possibly spring. And I'm really bummed about that. I was really hoping I could have it out by the end of August. This is, 6 months ago when things were still not as crazy, but so much has changed and I want to get more people in on it. And I think it would also be a really fun way to tell the story of how we went from, oh man, I really want this to, oh my God, we have it. Oh, it happened. It's such a interesting last year and a half. And I think it'd be fun to document some of that alongside all of this. So, yeah, Tamashi's getting pushed back a little bit, but I have so many projects on hand going right now that I'm sure everything's going to get pushed back, but I'm one dude doing the best I can. And, I got to take breaks every once in a while because if I don't, I end up going crazy. And, all work and no play makes Dusty go crazy. And nobody likes it when Dusty go crazy. Starts making no sense on Twitter. More and more mistakes. Big bad, big dumb, small brain. Nobody likes that. So, Tamashi got pushed, but things are going to be better for it. There's also a couple other things about it I can't talk about just yet. But the minute I can, I'll say something because some fun stuff. Some fun stuff, folks. Alrighty, so let's jump back in. Let's grab some other questions real quick. I'm going to scroll back up and see what I missed. Can you organize another New York City meetup when society restarts? So, Bluefin, Team Rider. Go talk to them. Because if they say yes, then I'll be there. Assuming I'm not in the middle of working on something else that really makes it impossible for me to be there. But even if I can't show up, you know me. I'll be supporting online. So, you were Buck on Zeron's channel, right? Do you ever miss playing that character? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Problem with him is that it's kind of hard to find new content for him to work with, but you never know. He might come back. I actually tried to film something for him in Japan, but then I learned it's like really not a good idea to swim in the Tokyo Bay. So I didn't. He might show back up again one day. Who knows? All right. Let's see what we got. Been watching Kamen Rider Kuga recently, and I realized it's a lot better than I remember. Has it happened to you with any other of the Heisei writers? Um, so when my girlfriend was getting into Kamen Rider, um, she started with Gaim, but we also started going back and checking out other series. And watching double and O's with her again for like it was like the third time for me, but like just well a decade through O's. It's just that one chunk right there. Something about that chunk in particular always strikes a chord with me, and I'm just like I remember loving it so much when I saw it for the first time. Remember having a great time the second time I watched it. Here I'm watching it for a third time, and I'm still enjoying it. Like, and I'm finding new things that I didn't notice or remember from the last few times. So I'm just like and being more well versed in Rider ever since then, I could actually see some callbacks and things they did that I just never picked up on earlier. So, yeah, probably that chunk right there, decade through O's. You know, Forza too. Forza had some good stuff in there. Okay, if you can. Okay, Remington Bassa asks, if you can, what Ultraman would you cosplay? Me personally, I would be Ultraman Max. I actually really like Ultraman Max as well. So that was actually going to be my pick. But if I had to pick one of the other two, it would either be 7 or 0. I really like those two. Okay. So, who is your favorite Kamen Rider from 2000 to 2019? I might be a little bit biased. I don't know if you can tell or not. I really like Decade. Masahiro Inoue is a lot of fun, and he only gets better each time he shows up. So, but if I had to pick my favorite writer series, I still think it's O's. It's really close with it in Build. Build was another of those shows I really enjoyed because like, um, just before I got into Build, like right when it started, I'd finished up watching the original Kamen Rider for the first time through, and I was really just like on a Showa kick, and I was like, Tachibana's cool. The writer girls are cool. The writer club's cool. Man, these secondary writers are so bro. Like it was a good time. And then Kamen Rider Build does this thing where it takes those small little things and just tweaks them ever so slightly, just twists them ever so slightly. And rewatching Build again with my new friend Eric when I was in Japan, he hadn't seen anything Rider before, so he was watching it with me, and he got hooked. We got through like 27 episodes together before he had to boogie on back home. But there's a scene with a Volt, or not a Volt, but you know who a Volt is if you've seen the show. And he has like an iPad in his hand, and out of nowhere he just kind of like contorts it into like a back scratcher. And this is like episode 1 or 2, and I'm like, how did I not remember that? What the hell? It was so strange, but it's yeah. I like the idea of taking common tropes that have always been there and things can people that can kind of like predict what's about to happen, and they just flip it and they're like, nope, we're doing something different, deal with it. Like, I love it, absolutely love it. All right, let's see what else do we got going on here. Who is your favorite secondary writer? Okay, Pengu Wave asked who is my favorite secondary writer. Jeez, give me a minute, let me look at my shelf so I can see who's up there, because it's really hard. First one that comes to mind. Oh jeez. Huh. Huh. You know what? It's actually really hard. It's just as hard as trying to pick my favorite main writer. Oh God. Y'all can't do this. Uh, um, uh, Common writer. Got it. Nailed it. Ugh. All right. So let's see. Just trying to see if we got any other questions in here that I missed. Do you think this is going to catch Toei's attention, seeing that there's a writer following in the U.S.? Uh, Joseph, buddy, gonna let you know a little secret. They figured it out about a year ago, and Now we're really showing them, so I'm pretty sure they noticed. I'm pretty sure they noticed when I could tweet at Shirakura and he's like, "Wait, what?" that was fun. Just for reference, I don't usually tweet at producer Shirakura too often, but every once in a while I'll chime in and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like that kind of thing. And the reason why is that last I don't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago, but I was in Japan and he said that there's no Kamen Rider fans in the West, and I sat there for like a 10 or 15 tweet long in Japanese message, just being like, "We're around. I'm out here right now just because of this stuff." And ever since then, like every once in a while, we'll talk to each other, and I think it's pretty cool that even he's willing to talk to us. So yeah, Toei's noticed, and what I hope is that Toei and Bandai, they notice like really 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 hard, and they're like, "Oh man, oh geez, open the floodgates, let's go." I really hope that happens because that's going to mean a lot of really good things for a lot of people I know working in the industry, and also a lot more work, which I don't want to put on them, but at the same time, it's like, y'all need help, holler. All right, so let's see what other questions we got going on in here. Ideal monster suit to make. Okay, so if I could make a monster suit, technically this guy isn't a monster, but he looks a little bit monster, so I'm just gonna say it because I've been wanting to make it for a long time. I really want to make Shin Kamen Rider. I think that would be a really fun suit to make. There's a SIC Hero Saga where he kind of has like a regular Kamen Rider form, but the suit kind of gets ripped off the top of him, and he looks like Shin under it. And I thought, how cool would it be to have like Rider One boots with like monster toes popping out the front of it, tattered pants, a belt, and then like the upper body of like Kamen Rider like draped around like in tatters around it, and then the upper part's just all Shin. I think that'd be a really fun suit. So it's on my list. I'll get there eventually. I got a list of things I really want to do, but so much to do, so little time, so much energy. Ugh. Oh, so Vangelis, what's up, buddy? He says, "Dude, get the face cast done so you can have a rubber Dustin head to stretch around for the initial henshin." I already got one. I just haven't made a rubber casting of it yet, but I got one, so that's totally doable. Man, maybe I should just do that. Ooh, ooh, give me some ideas there. All right, Shadow the Pika says, "Do you think Kamen Riders Shout English subtitles being in production are a result of Hasbro not doing Sentai DVDs, or do you think Shout would have started them regardless? We'd both see Sentai and Kamen Rider." So this is just speculation because I never really asked about this, but I wouldn't be surprised if the whole Power Rangers moving over to Hasbro was one of those things that might have helped spark this. Um, it would have been really cool to see. It would have been really cool to see Shout get the big three, like all of them together. But as much as it pains me to lose the Sentai DVDs and then get all these Kamen Rider things, and then all this, it's such a weird period. It's just one of those things where I don't know what's happening, but I'm also appreciative of the things that we do still have, or the things that we just got. So maybe one day we'll see the return of the Sentai DVDs. I'm really bummed they didn't get to some of my personal favorites, but they did get to a lot of my personal favorites. So I hope they can finish it out one day. I really, really do. But I think Hasbro's not going to let that happen. And I think it's a darn shame. But hey, in the meantime, we got Kamen Rider. And we got a bunch of stuff that a lot of people haven't seen before. And who knows, maybe Toei will be super, super, super kind and maybe translate some specials for us so we can see some behind the scenes stuff, or who knows. I just hope they look at us really favorably and they're like, "All right, we'll throw you a bone," and it's the biggest, most amazing dinosaur bone a dog could get. Okay, so I saw another question in here earlier. How many viewers for last night were you predicting? I was thinking we would get, probably about 1,500, maybe 2,000. So the fact that we went above and beyond that and pushed a little bit further than my expectations, I was really pleased. I hope that was the result that they were looking for, and I just hope that this built just enough word of mouth that when the movie releases on Shout, a lot more people go check it out. Like all the people that had to miss it for whatever reason. Like I said, because some people had to work. It's crazy times right now. Crazy times right now. Um, Another question from Dawnbreaker. What was your first cosplay? So my first cosplay ever was a janky Kamen Rider where I had a bike helmet with two reflectors and a cardboard mask and some piece of scrap metal for the antenna, a green jacket, and a torn red shirt. I wore it for one day. All the poses were completely wrong. It was definition classic cosplay, but I told myself next year I'm gonna really do it, and then I didn't because I didn't finish in time. So then I had to do it the year after that. So the first real cosplay costume I finished was Kamen Rider Skull Crystal. I wanted to do the full version of Skull, but I kind of messed up the fedora, and I didn't want to just wear like a weird felt mess on top of that helmet. So I decided just not to do the S on the top of it, to go with more of a blue hue, and yeah. It was also my first foam build, and I used hot glue to put all the seams together, and oof, that was a really dumb move because I left it in the car, and it melted overnight because it's North Carolina heat. Yeah. So my next cosplay after that was Kamen Rider O's Tataba, and that was the... Y'all seen the rest. I talked about them all plenty. Dylan Agnew asks, do you make your Kamen Rider costumes by hand? Yes, I make all my Rider outfits by hand. Here, I'll show you guys. Oh, here he is, Ixa. I don't know if I gave too close of an in-depth look at it, but I'll give you guys an up-close look. Got some smudging on the visor. I gotta clean that up. But other than that, the only thing I really need to do right now is just add some detail lines in between the silver and the white right there. But yeah, so check out this paint too. Isn't that beautiful? I love this stuff. I really can't get enough of it. It's called FX Paint. Got a lot to talk about with it soon. Probably get to that here in a little while. Okay, scrolling up because I thought I saw something. When are we getting that sick Furbus cosplay? The next time I'm 3 foot tall, I'll let you know. When did you get into Kamen Rider? Okay, so I got into Kamen Rider in 2009. Maybe no, 2009, because I was watching Samurai Sentai Shinkenger in a study period, and in high school, and well, technically my English class, but my teacher knew we were going to be fine by that point, and finals were just around the corner. I could write. Anyways, at the time, I don't know what happened to me then. Probably all those fumes working with all those chemicals over the years. Anyways, I was watching Shinkenger. I was really getting into it, and then I saw a commercial for Kamen Rider Decade, and I sat there for a minute. And I was like, "What's a Kamen?" And I looked it up. It said Mask, and I was like, "Oh, Masked Rider." Wait a minute, and then my brain just kind of like put two and two together, and I remembered Saban's Masked Rider. So when I was really little, there's a group of kids I wanted to play with, and they would all be Power Rangers. But by the time I would got to lunch with all of them, because I was on the other side of the building, they would already have their colors assigned to them. So I would either be Goldar or a Putty or something lame. And then Kamen Rider Masked Rider showed up, so then I got to be Masked Rider with the group. So it was a lot of fun. So finding Kamen Rider later in life, and then really diving in deep on it, and then learning all about it, just, man, life-changing. Kinda crazy. It's also weird to think, because I was also at the tail end of high school, and let me tell you, folks, glad I found the show, because I think it's taught me a lot more than I got out of a lot of other media when I was a kid. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about Rider, is that I think it's one of those shows where if you look hard enough, you can actually learn something. If you listen hard enough, you can learn something. So that's why I've been a big supporter of the show, and also the toys and everything, is that I think it's something we need over here. And I'm hoping that maybe one day, a generation of kids watch a Kamen Rider start, just being, what am I trying to say here? What's the way I'm trying to put this? I hope there's a bunch of people out there that watch this show and really take some of this stuff to heart and use that and implement it in their daily lives to help make this place a lot better. Um, I'm a big believer in the idea of leave it better than you got it. You know, if you do something good, go for it. And Kamen Rider is one of those things where that just has so many different ways to tell you something, um, and also entertain you. And I think that's the best way to learn something is if you're being entertained and you're learning. Man, it's kind of hard to beat that. It really is. Alrighty, gonna keep scrolling on around here and see what else we got. Uh, How do you take care of your suits when you're done with it? Do you just leave it in a drawer, leave it out, and dust it? So it depends on how much space I have in the house. So right now I have O's and a lot of the other helmets like laying around on the other side of the room from the cosplay stream. But usually I'll leave them in my work areas because I know those are mostly secure and I don't have to worry about them getting messed up. Or I have a closet over there that holds a lot of my old foam stuff. And the best part about foam cosplay is that they all condense pretty nicely. I also have a crate that I use to ship stuff whenever I go out of town and fly. So like I have a lot of space in there to put stuff too. And if it ever comes down to a point where I don't think I can use a costume anymore, or I just need some cash or I need some space, I'll sell them. So every once in a while, if you get really lucky, you might see me selling one of my outfits. So if you really like my stuff and you want to get one of my personal ones, not a bad way to get one. And I sell them cheaper than Aniki does because they're also used. But they're also not going to fall apart on you if you take care of them. You got to take care of them too. I saw somebody earlier ask me, "Do you take commissions?" And I used to. Here's the problem with commissions. I'm still behind on a few. As soon as I get those done, I'll consider opening commissions that back up again. But I did something really horrible to myself where I overbooked myself, and because of the overbooking, I ended up making other people wait for stuff. So luckily, the people that have asked for refunds have been able to issue refunds. Other people who are cool with waiting are fine with waiting a little bit longer. They understand everything that's been going on is absolutely nuts, and I really appreciate the people that are patient too. Like it gets wild on my end sometimes. It really does. But I want y'all to know I'm always doing my best. Do my best to get all this stuff out to y'all. But yeah, one of these days I hope I could do commissions again. But for the time being, I'm going to be doing just focus on streaming and helping people learn how to do their own writer cosplays and putting out patterns and yeah, just trying to do my thing. Have you seen any of the Dogengers yet? With it seeming to be such a success, I'm hoping to see it usher in a new age of indie tokusatsu. Yeah, Dogengers is a lot of fun. I haven't been able to catch up past episode 3 or 4, I think. But I hopefully will have enough time to sit down and actually really enjoy it. For what I have seen, though, very fun show. Very highly recommended, and I want to fight Keith Q, man. But I gotta wait till I get my own suit for that. So, am I a bad person for getting really impatient and upset when I see America gets all this cool stuff, whereas the UK gets left out? Uh, no, you're not a bad person. You're human. It's it sucks seeing everybody else on the other side of the world like enjoying something, and I completely empathize with you when and sympathize with you when you say, why does America get it first? I know a lot of people are like yelling out shout for this, but the region locking thing isn't their fault. I'm sure if they could put it out everywhere, they would. But different countries have different laws, and we have to follow those laws. And on top of that, too, we have to follow what Toei wants to do for these shows because it's their stuff. So as much as I hate that, y'all have to wait for us, I'm really hoping that because of the reaction that happened here the last couple of days, the UK and Australia will get these things pushed really, really soon. I really, really hope so. And if you guys need help supporting it or getting more people to know about it, holler at me. I'm here to help. Writers help other writers. Okay. Let's see if I missed anything else. Have you seen any of the Toei Fushigi comedies? I binge watched the first episode of each, and who boy their trip. No, I haven't checked them out yet, but I'll put them on my list. I'll definitely put them on my list. Oh, Evangelist says broadcast laws and web streaming is a massively frustrating thing. Most anyone passionate about media aren't jazzed about region locking. It's true. Like I think it's really dumb locking our stuff down. Like I understand that it's a big hairy mess, but I'm also from the perspective of the more that we make it impossible for other people and other cultures to experience stuff from outside their country, the more that we're isolating each other from each other, and the more that we isolate from each other, the more we refuse to look at each other and find normalcy within each other. So like yeah, I just let us all enjoy the bug show. Come on. Alrighty. Uh yeah, asterisk. I feel you. I really do. But the most I could say is try to find the distributor for the UK or for Australia and talk to them. Talk to the Bandai distributor for your region. That's gonna be your best bet because they're gonna know who they can talk to get these things going. And I really, 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 really hope this works out for y'all. And if you guys need help talking to somebody, um, holler. I'd be more than willing to say a few things. All right. As a larger lad, I want to do a Kamen Rider cosplay, but I haven't done one since my Taki Rider a few years back. What character do you think worked well with a big boy body type? Well, look at some of the big boy rider suits. We got some hefty boys out there. Look at the ones that have a little bit more bulk and heft to them. Sometimes if you, and it's not even just bulk or heft either. It's all about armor proportion. If you can make armor that's proportionate to you, you'll have the look. It's not so much the fit or the slimness, it's the silhouette. If you have the overall silhouette and people can recognize the details, you got it. So no indie tokusatsu love, Dustin? Hold on, I'm sorry. Immortal Red Fox is saying I have no indie tokusatsu love. No, I love indie toku. I want more of it. I absolutely want more of it. So much so I got plans. And I also got to help you do a few things too. But if y'all can't tell, it's been wild. Ooh, boy, I'm sweating. It's getting nuts over here. So, yeah, Breaker Jones, if you're going to do a Rider cosplay, I say go for one that has some bigger armor bits to it and one that you think you can make proportionate to yourself. And remember, it's all about the silhouette. All about that silhouette. Small details start popping more once you have the silhouette. I guarantee it. Let's do some fancy shiz. If you were given complete control over a season, what kind of writer show would you make? I want to make an unofficial Kamen Rider show along the same lines as Akiba Ranger. And I want the plot to be a foreigner is a writer, but only because they came to Japan and found a thing, and their whole goal is trying to find their friend they used to talk to online, who happens to be Akagi from Akiba Ranger. So we get the Akiba Rangers back, and technically it's just a backdoor way to have a Akiba Ranger Season 3. Akiba Ranger Season 3. Akiba Ranger Season 3. It hurts. Too much. Anyways, no, but if we're talking a little bit more seriously, if I could do my own writer series, I can't tell if I would want to do like something along the lines of Spirits, where it's retellings of stories that we didn't necessarily get to see in the TV show. So like just modern redos of some of the original 7 Kamen Riders with some fun crossover stuff put in there. I think there's a lot of possibility to have a fun story with those initial 7 characters and explain each one of their backgrounds their journeys and why they're all together now fighting for some reason. I think that would be a really fun season, a Legend 7 Riders um, series. Yeah, I want that. Give me that one. I want that. Let's do that. Or a Kamen Rider G miniseries. Yeah, we gotta get Goro though. He might be busy. All right, all right. Hojin Yatsurugi. That name sounds very familiar. I'll have to look that one up. It does sound very familiar though. That new Rider One suit from his new movie a few years ago, the 2016 Ichigo. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. It's a fun suit. Buff Ichigo. Ooh. I was really hoping it would be like a Cho Henshin form or something like that. So he just shows up like regular Ichigo, and everyone's like, wait a minute, I thought it was supposed to be the one on the poster. And then he just does it, and everyone's like, oh, right, okay. That would have been fun. Dylan asks, how many drivers do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 that I can see. This many. 9. Yeah. That's just the ones I could see, too. I know I got more laying around. I mean, just rip out the tracksuit. Yeah, just buffs out and shreds everywhere. The old helmet falls apart, and then the new one just steam coming off the top of it. That whole thing. Ooh, that'd be fun. All right, man. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate you. So hey, folks, I'm gonna go take a short break, another 5-10 minutes. Just relax, quit jabber-jawing for a minute, and I'm gonna start talking about some other projects that we have coming up, and I might bring in a guest. Okay. So until then, BRB. Alrighty, let's get back into it. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you all staying. We're gonna try to go for maybe another 30 to 40 minutes. So, first things first, I wanted to um, get a sip of water real quick. I'm really thirsty. Talking about Kamen Rider, you get your mouth really dry, and I know we have a lot of people out there who really love Kamen Rider and are also thirsty for Kamen Rider. So now, may I introduce Kamen Rider water? Mm, it's good flavored. Tastes like Amazon. Got all those amoebas and parasites. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. No, but yeah, it's an Amazon water bottle. It's straight up just like a muscle man with a Amazon wrapper. I also have one with Kamen Rider Ichigo in his original colors, and I really really want to get a one of those little tiny masks that come in those little stands for Amazon and Ichigo, and just put it on top. I think they'd be pretty cool display items. But I actually picked these up at TV Asahi. And if you know what TV Asahi is, that's the channel where Kamen Rider airs on. So I went to their building in Tokyo, and they had this big beer event going on, and I was like, ugh, how uncivilized. But anyways, yeah, I went into the TV Asahi, and they had a bunch of water bottles, and I was like, oh, I want one, and they're like, oh, 350, and I'm like, yeah, I bet it is, but it was worth it. So yeah, I spent $7 on water. What about it? Uh, Also, if you guys don't know what the TV Asahi building is, if you've ever seen the Kamen Rider G special, you know that building where he stands in front of, and then the big G explosion happens on that big glass wall. That's TV Asahi. That's their building. So actually going there was really neat because I had no idea. So I walked up and I was like, "It's Kamen Rider G's engine spot." uh, all right, so let's get to some of the things I wanted to talk about on the more personal side of my stuff. So Patreon, I Patreons. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be completely real with y'all. I've been slacking, and it's not slacking because I'm lazy and trying to ignore y'all. It's that I've just been pulled at all ends trying to do a bunch of different stuff when um, ultimately you guys are the guys that support me, and I feel like I let a lot of y'all down. So starting next month, I'm gonna get back at it with cosplay streams. So you're gonna be seeing some of the work I do on Ixa. 1 minute, I'll show you what I mean. Oh, there goes headphones. Oh boy. All right, a little bit of a teaser. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna be working on that first stream. Probably get this back in there. All right, cool. So first stream, we are going to be cleaning up these edges on the Ixa chest piece. We're going to be trimming away this stuff. We're going to be covering up some of these extra foam clad areas with some quick seal just to give some extra flexibility. Uh, so yeah, it's been a lot of fun building this, and I really want to show you guys some more of the ins and outs of it. But I want to save it for the cosplay streams. So here's how those cosplay streams are going to go. There is guaranteed I'm going to be doing at least one a month that's public, and it should be for about 2 or 3 hours. Not too much different than how we're doing this stream right here, except for it'll probably be us just listening, jamming out to music. Maybe I'll get some program that can read off questions to me, but yeah, it'll be just me, doing my thing, sitting there, cutting, working on foam, jamming out to music, or watching something, and I'll try to answer some questions here or there before I take breaks. So then there's some interaction there. But for the Patreons, though, I'm going to be changing it to where some of the higher tiers have direct coaching and private streams where it's you and me, or maybe a couple other people that are also patrons, and we all just talk shop, try to figure out what we could do to get you up and running in your next costume. But those are going to be strictly costume streams. I'm not going to be there to talk about the shows. I'm going to be there strictly to figure out how to get you in a suit so you can be out there jumping and kicking with the rest of us. Okay? So the big Patreon update is probably going to be happening sometime in August. We're going to be switching around how patterns come out. I don't know what possessed me to think I could do 4 to 5 patterns a month when I'll be completely real. Ix's chest piece pattern took me almost a whole week, and I was starting to mess up with the sub spots. I'll be completely real. I went back to try and make some of the stuff that I did where I didn't actually do the final testing, and they weren't coming out right. And that just makes you feel like a gypped y'all, and I don't want to do that to you. So we're going to be going back and tweaking some of those patterns slowly but surely. We're getting into it. I'm going to be digitizing any patterns that I haven't put up there and slowly start releasing those too. So there will be new stuff. I think those are just going to stay at $5 or less. I haven't quite determined how that's going to go, but I want to keep them cheap because I want people to get the cosplay patterns so they can just make their own stuff. The cosplay tutorials and streams are more so for people who are really trying to get more serious about it, or are just really stumped and just need some guidance. When I first started getting into cosplay, there weren't people really doing writer cosplay. The only ones that were people like Aniki and those guys. And as much as I love their suits, they get really expensive. And my suits they're starting to get pricier and pricier the more I start getting heavier and heavier into new materials and new techniques and stuff like that. But for example, Kamen Rider O's, the most recent one I did that for less than $300. So like, if I can show you guys how to be a little bit more frugal and also be safer with making your materials, because let's be real, we don't want you guys getting sick. We want you guys using stuff that's safe when you're making your stuff that's safe, durable, and built to last. But if you want to try more hardcore stuff like fiberglass or mold making and things like that, and you really want to get serious about prop making and stuff, I will be more than willing to help coach you so you can get up on your 2 feet and maybe start up your own business one day. So yeah, that's how it's going to be going on Patreon. It's going to be changing around, and YouTube videos. Anytime I get something done early and it's like a bad time for me to upload, I'll just put it up on Patreon for you guys to check out early. I'm just swamped with a whole bunch of different weird things, and I'm trying to get better about notifications. It's something strange. Like the minute I turned 25 4 years ago, I went from like, yeah, technology, I know how to do all this, to complete and absolute boomer. So bear with me. I'm gonna be doing my best to try to make this as engaging and fun for all of you as it can be, and more bang for your buck. Because if you help me, I should help you back. That's the way it goes. And again, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry if you've been a Patreon this whole time and you haven't really been getting any updates or anything. I'm just trying to figure out all this and making it work so everyone's happy. I know not everyone will be happy, but as close to everyone being happy as I can get, I'll take it. Alrighty. Cool. So let's start talking about other things I have going on. Let me check Discord real quick and see if a friend is nearby. Okay, let's see. I think they are. So here, I'm going to go ahead and kill the music. Give me 2 seconds. And I'm going to call somebody real quick. Let me know if you guys can hear them or not. Hello?
Hello.
All right, everybody.
Cleared the tab. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the YouTube tab again because it was closing, so I don't get you like from like both 2 seconds in the past and 2 seconds in the future. While I'm doing that, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Dawnbreaker, and I'm the History of Ultraman host.
What are you doing in my writer stream then?
I don't know. I was asked to come on.
Okay. So, Dawnbreaker here is doing videos with Marco Satsu and Dream Bomb, and we both decided we wanted to do a cosplay show. So earlier in the week, I plugged it a little bit, but I think we are ready to finally talk about it and give you guys an idea of when it's going to be coming out. So, our new show is called Suiting Up with Dawn and Dusty.
Hi.
Yeah, he's Dawn. I'm Dusty. Don't worry, we'll get a video next time. But Dawn, do you want to give them a quick lowdown of what exactly the show will be?
Yes. So, Suiting Up as is essentially a cosplay tutorial show that will show you how to build your favorite suits in tokusatsu. from we're gonna focus mostly on Common Rider. We're shooting for the first episode, shooting for September release. And what's essentially going to happen is we're going to show you how you can do this in the convenience of your own home, which
Yeah.
is like exactly
And we're going to show
because
you
I
guys how to do
feel
it in
like
ways that you won't even need to use hazardous materials. We found some stuff that is totally safe to use, and some of it's actually kid friendly. So if you got kiddos at home and you want them wearing masks and stuff, this would be a really fun project for y'all to do one day. Um, the other side of suiting up with Dusty and Dawn is also going to be a little bit of history and trivia. I really love researching suits from Kamen Rider and how they build them, and just trying to find any old props I can, even if they're in museums and stuff like that and falling apart. I'll go hunt them down just to take pictures. So since we're gonna be starting with Kamen Rider One, I have a lot of information on the original Kamen Rider suit. So each time we
does
make a part, we're also going to be teaching you guys a little bit about how they made their stuff, how they handled certain things, and how those costumes have changed over the years because there are so many versions of Ichigo and Ego, it's not even funny.
yeah.
But now we're going to be making a bunch more because we're going to be showing you guys how to make your own helmets and eventually belts and then chest pieces and then maybe doing some clothing altercation.
I'll get that. I've actually been really excited to do this because I realize in America, at least for the tokusatsu community, there's not really many readily tutorial readily oh okay readily
Words.
available yeah readily available tutorials. I mean, of course, there's stuff in Japan and like and a bunch of like tutorials in Indonesian, but well, not many people know how to speak Japanese or Indonesian. Or when it comes to Dustin and I, we've studied this. Well, I've studied this. Dustin has as well. We've about how to do like this cosplay stuff for literal years. I've been watching it since I was a wee lad in middle school. And actually, I just noticed a question from Crownless King. I'm gonna answer this because it's actually gonna integrate well with what I'm talking about. Will you guys do secondary videos for certain long steps, like teaching people how to use how to make 3D models of helmets or use programs instances where those sections are too long? Um, so kind of not. What we're gonna do is we're gonna link you to videos that will show you how to do that because we wanna spread far and wide because there's so many great people to watch, like
Hmm.
Bill Duran of Punish Props,
Evil Ted.
Evil Ted, Bill and Ted are an excellent combination. Apologize for that pun. And numerous other people, Kamui cosplay, a bunch of people that I can I'm just naming off the top of my head, but there's so many people, and obviously they're great at those tutorials and how to teach you the basics and stuff. And now we want to be able to teach you once you watch those videos and basics and stuff how to make those tokusatsus because we're not gonna just do Common Rider, so to
Oh, no,
say.
no,
Every
no.
now
I
and
got
then
plans. And
you got plans.
the other thing is too is that we really don't want it to just be like a simple how-to show. Um
Yeah,
so like there are so many videos on like how to get to EVA foam prop making and stuff like that. And we don't really want to do that because like we said there's a whole bunch of other videos about it. So what we decided is why not do something cool where we point at other people because they already have those things out there, gives you a chance to learn from some other teachers. And then once you have some of those new skills, you come back to us and you could try out all these things that you've learned from those guys with some new additional skills that they may not have thought about when it comes to tokusatsu cosplay specifically.
yeah,
I've learned a
and
lot of tricks over the years, and I spilled two of my biggest ones on the cosplay stream. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, go check out the cosplay stream that happened earlier this week over on Bluefin's YouTube channel.
yeah, and the main reason why we're not gonna necessarily like show the basics, which I know some people would want, is because if that is the case, that would be like a whole video series in and of itself, and there's already tons of those out there that can do it that do it like amazingly, and we want to be able to
Mhm.
give the attention to those. And plus, we just want to get right into those tokusatsu suits, man, because yeah,
Yeah.
I'm psyched.
So
Um,
you guys can expect that show hopefully sometime early this fall. We just got to
yes.
schedule it out because Don can tell you Dusty's busy.
Dusty is very busy. I was actually we spent many late nights together on Discord, and I was watching him build the damn the Ixa helmet, which he spent hours on. I was watching him. So that footage that you saw sped up in the Ixa video, I saw him do that in real time, and also sections of the Ixa chest plate and all that. I was able to pick up a few tricks because we never stop learning when it comes to this cosplay stuff. You're
Mm.
always like learning new ways, like ways to apply yourself when it comes to cosplay, and we want to be able to like show that to the audience, which that show will be on Marco Satsu because the name changed to Dream Bomb, but we still say Dream Bomb colloquially. Uh, yeah,
So yeah,
but
okay. So I guess that wraps that part of it. Don, thank you so much for coming in and talking about the show with me, and I can't wait to actually get the first episode out to people because there might be some
yes.
giveaways. You don't know.
Oh yes,
Oh yeah, but
indeed.
it's not a sponsor you would think. It's a different type of sponsor, but if considering the show, it's a really darn cool sponsor. So we're gonna nail
Yeah,
that out, and once we get the logistics nailed out, then y'all might see some
yeah.
cool stuff.
So stay posted on our Twitters. Most mainly Dustin's and mine. We'll put. I think we could put some little updates up there here and there, and this
Oh yeah.
kind of contributes to that whole like educational aspect that Dustin was wanting to shift to. But now it's like a fun show that hopefully lots of people will be able to see on Dream Bomb because we're super excited for that.
Mm. And like that's the other thing too is like we want you guys to learn how to do this stuff and have fun building alongside us, but it's gonna be a show. You're gonna learn something. You might have a couple laughs. Might get something
Yeah,
cool out of it too. So just
yeah.
keep an eye out. I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
This is all part of my dream because I thought of something when we were at well, I wasn't there, but when I saw the New York meetup, everyone had the belts and stuff. I'm like, man, how cool would this be if everyone was there with suits, not just like Dustin or like a couple people.
Mhm.
I mean, like
Oh, and just as a heads up, this is gonna be more so for the people that want a suit for cosplay. That's not to say we aren't gonna get cosplayers that do just the civilian stuff, but at the beginning we're very much gonna be focusing on just the props and costumes side of it. So eventually we'll do some civvy stuff because I know a lot of really great civilian rider cosplayers out there, but we don't really get a lot of attention on these things. So I want to really start helping y'all get up and out there. All right, Don, I'm gonna let you go, buddy. Don. Okay, bye. Don disconnected. All right, bye. All right. So I'm gonna get the tunes going again real quick, and we're gonna answer a couple more questions, and we're gonna round this out for the night. All right. Should be getting the music going up again here. All right. Cool. So let me go hit that chat because I saw a lot of questions come through that I missed. Okay, Inu Akuma asks, what is some form of tech or material that doesn't exist that you would love to have for cosplay? I'd really like to have like some form of a like a photogrammetry set. What a photogrammetry is, it's the process of taking hundreds, sometimes thousands of photos around one subject with multiple light sources on it, with as steady and clear high HDR photos as you can get. And you drop them all into a computer and it can pump out a 3D model. And sometimes they are insanely accurate. I really wish I could do that because my biggest issue when it comes to making patterns is going from 2D to 3D. So like looking at a picture and then finding the exact way to get it just right. Like the Issa chest, I'm really happy with it. But there's just a few spots on it where it's like, no matter what I did, I just could not get the shape just right. And if there was a way for me to just see it another way, and then that's where 3D models come in like really handy. And I think like a photogrammetry booth that you can get really high definition scans of stuff like figures and things like that, I think that'd be a great resource, especially for cosplayers. All right. Would you like to make up your own Kamen Rider costume in the future, like your own design? Yes, I've actually done a couple of Kamen Rider Strongers, and when I did those, the goal was what kind of a Stronger can I make in 3 days? Like, I'll push myself to make something in 3 days. They're not good. They're not great. But I tried some things. But I think it's also just a testament to I'm trying to do them in 3 days. So one of these days, I'll really put my effort into making one that's just my own thing. And it might not necessarily be a Kamen Rider either. That's one thing when it comes to OCs and like people that want to make their own shows and stuff like that. Everyone's like, oh, I want to make a Kamen Rider. And I keep saying this, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Why does it have to be Kamen Rider? Why can't you make your own thing? Why do you want to be restricted by their rules when you can have your own? See what I'm saying? Go make your own superhero show. What are your hopes for the upcoming Rider series? So Saber is the new Kamen Rider. I hope we get a really cool sword toy that doesn't feel like it's too small. I would be really interested to see if the sabers were actually the gimmick items that can combine with the belt. I love roleplay toys. I would love to see them find a way to make the roleplay toys gimmick items the weapon. And then they also work with the belt. Just something to where it doesn't just feel like, oh, it's Kamen Rider's belt and his sword. I want it to feel like it's just all Kamen Rider's belt. So like even the belt itself feels like a weapon. I think that would be neat. Okay. Let's see. I imagine Kamen Rider water tasting like Pocari Sweat. Nope, it tastes like just regular water. But if it tasted like Pocari Sweat, I probably would have bought way more of those because I love Pocari Sweat. I wonder if I still have powder in the fridge. I'm about to go look after this and find out. What's another rider you'd love to cosplay in or out of suit? I've been wanting to make Decade for years. It's actually the first one I tried to start, and the way I was making the helmet wasn't very strong. It was actually pretty brittle, and the damn thing fell off a table right after I finally clamshelled it. So that was a big oof moment for me. But I think it might be time for me to go back and really give it another go. I've tried to make many different Decade helmets out of foam over the years, but I just can't quite seem to get them just right. So I think it might be time I go back to fiberglass and I actually just go ham on it. It's been a while since I've done that. Last Rider helmet I did in all fiberglass was my Gaim. And man, that thing's seen better days. Did not treat it well after I was done with it. Oh well, maybe one day I can bring it back. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so sorry about Don's audio being low. I'm still trying to get a hand of all of this mixing stuff. I'm not great with audio, if you guys can't tell. But I'm trying to get better. So if you guys have any advice for me or links or stuff like that, by all means, send it to me on Twitter. If it helps, I will give you a shout out. For sure. So it's not Dream Bomb anymore. Turns out YouTube doesn't like the word bomb in its titles. Oh, darn, man. Too bad they have... I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to start fights on YouTube when I'm using YouTube at the moment. Ugh. YouTube, I love you, but I hate you. You've changed too much. What do you think of Kamen Rider Double? Double's awesome. I love it a lot. I love it so much that I tell people watch Decade, because Decade's not bad, but once you get to Double, it'll definitely hook you into Kamen Rider for sure. So, yeah, I really do like Double. Love Double a lot. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Do you have a 3D printer? Yes, I do, but here's the problem with my 3D printer. At the moment, it sees the print bed. All right, this is my hand's the print bed, and this is the nozzle. It does all its little things to get itself all set and ready to go. And it starts to get ready to print, and then just goes... So, I went to check the hardware, and there's nothing wrong with the hardware. I think it's something wrong with the actual computer part of it. So, either need to get that replaced, fixed, or something. It's been sitting upstairs for nearly a year with nothing printed, and I'm really upset because it wasn't cheap. And the warranty expired after 6 months. Oh well. Do what I can. Okay, let's see. What else have I missing? Favorite CSM belt. I really like the Arkle. I have a friend that's got one, and I've also gotten to play with the original Complete Selection Arkle. Man, that new one's really darn good. It's really darn good. A lot different, but really, really good. Next ones I would have to recommend are the Pfizer Kaiser belt, and of course the Deca driver, which is the only one that I personally own. Thank you, Katie. That's the other thing too. A lot of the things you saw out there, a lot of them are gifts. You'd be surprised how many people just throw me things because they're like, "Oh, you like Kamen Rider? Here, have a toy," and I'm like, "Ah!" So I'll take it. Some of those I definitely bought with my own money too, but a lot of them up there I don't want to get rid of for any reason, just because they were a gift. A lot of those figure arts too. Actually, a couple of the figure arts are up on that shelf were from a friend who's a designer of SH figure arts. So like, yeah, it's, oh man, I got to meet so many cool people through all this stuff. It's so cool. All right, let's see what else we got. Aquarius is my favorite fake water from Japan. Oh yeah, well I'm more partial to sports water. Just kidding. They're all pretty good. I like them a lot. If you haven't tried it, there's an Aquarius peach flavor they were doing for the Olympics. It is awesome. Please go try that out. It's super good. There's also a lime one that's not bad. The peach one's killer. What series do you think is the worst jumping on point? Just curious. Okay. Worst starter. Kamen Rider Z-Cross, because it's only a movie, and there was supposed to be a series, but there wasn't. And there's Shin Kamen Rider, but it's not translated. So being a Z-Cross starter is suffering. Came in late, but what was this I heard about a show being put out? What reference to suit making vids are you going to be doing an indie project? Okay, so just for people who missed it, over on Mark Wasatsu's channel, I'm going to be hosting a show with Dawnbreaker. It's going to be called Suiting Up with Dawn and Dusty. We're going to be talking about some tips and trivia about the suits and how they were made back in the day, or even nowadays, from Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Super Sentai, those kind of shows. And then we're going to show you how to make them yourself using materials you can find in the States. We're going to go easy, do simple cosplay stuff, and then eventually we're going to start building up to more hardcore kind of things. We're aiming for this to be a 5-series show, and what I say by 5 series is like 5 multi-part mini-seasons, essentially. So like we're going to do Kamen Rider 1 first, and then we're going to do a couple of like just simple tip and trick videos, and then we're going to bump up the difficulty and start moving up higher and higher. And if there's a great reception for it, we'll keep it going. But if not, then we got that nice little chunk that could sit there for Tokusatsu cosplay history, and we'll get a bunch more of y'all in suits, and I'm super excited about that. Now, the indie Tokusatsu thing. I don't want to say anything, but your boy got plans. Keep an eye out for the documentary. Anyways. Oh, and people ask about the documentary. I talked about it earlier, so whenever the stream goes up live, just go on back. I think I talked about it in segment part 1 or 2. So I think it's before. It's definitely before the second break. I think is when I talked about it. For Rider Suit cosplays, would you rather use a functional detailed toy like a CSM and integrate it into the suit, or make a durable replica that doesn't do the gimmick? Okay, so I've done both. Usually I like to wear the toy. It will definitely get you dinged if you try to compete with it. But I also come from the perspective of, and this is the way I've always done it. Part of the reason why I wanted to start cosplaying as Kamen Rider was that I wanted to find more people that liked Kamen Rider. Because when I first got into it, there weren't too many people. And then, like, sure enough, like a year after I started getting into cosplay for it, I found a ton of people that liked it. So my goal as a cosplayer was to get as many new people into Kamen Rider at these conventions as I could. And it works. It actually works. So I would have the belt on, and some people would get excited because they never would get a chance to play with it before. I wouldn't know where to order one. And now they get their chance to play with it and take a picture with Kamen Rider. I'm like, come on, it's cool. So, yeah, I like wearing the belts because it gives people a chance to play with it. Plus, some folks like to have their kids come take a picture with me. And nothing's easier than just grabbing something off the belt, handing it over to the kid, and just being like, hold that. And they're like, okay. And they just like do a thing with it. And they get this really awkward picture with this really cool looking suit. And I get to take it away from them. And they're like, no, give it back. And I'm like, nope, you got your picture. Bye. It's evil. It's evil. But they get to play with the belt and they get to see what it is. And then they'll start asking questions. And they'll be like, Mom, I want one. And I'm just like, yes, it's working. So, I'm all for wearing the actual products. However, I have had to make my own belts before, mostly because your boy didn't want to spend like $300 on an Amazon belt, so I just made my own janky one, and it worked. It had lights in it too, but I pulled the battery pack out, so it doesn't have lights right now. But yeah. Oh yeah, and then I still made some functionality for it though. Like I can twist the handles, I can put a light in there so that it changes colors. I can switch it between alpha and omega, just like that. See, and yeah, this came out pretty good. I like making the belts too. The belts are a lot of fun, especially doing them out of foam and stuff. But there's also a thing called cosplay crunch, and sometimes it's just nicer just to have the thing done and know that it's done and not have to worry about it. So, okay, let's see here. All right, so hey, final call on questions. This is your last chance to ask questions. In 4 minutes, I'm gonna stop taking new questions. So I'm gonna find this point, cut it off there. But until I answer all those questions, I'm gonna stay on stream. Okay? So at least 15 minutes until we end here, folks. Okay, let's see. What else did I miss? Does a spear come out of it? No, no spear comes out of it. But if I need to, I prepared it to be a spear to be put into something, and yeah. Yeah. Okay, next visit to Japan, I want to make a journey through the decade video where you travel through all the locations filmed from Kamen Rider, where all the people can find them and the best route to do them all. Actually, if you stick around for my documentary, I have a special... There's going to be a public version and a special edition, and the special edition is going to be behind a paywall, but all the money from that goes strictly to Ehime Prefecture and to a couple children's homes in Japan. We're going to be getting a couple survival packs and kids' toys, like soft vinyls and stuff like that. This whole project's non-profit, mind you. Tamashi is completely 100% non-profit. I'm not making $1 from this. It's all going to help people. In the special edition, I'm going to be actually releasing a point-by-point map where you kind of follow along some of the points of where I went. And I'm also going to be releasing, with the public version, the Google map I made that shows all the places I went to and tagged. And some of them I even reviewed, and some of them I put extra notes down and like good times to go, bad times to go, that kind of stuff. So just keep an eye out. It's coming. It's a lot of stuff going for Tamashi in the background, and it's... Let me tell you, when I'm not working on cosplay stuff and I'm not working on YouTube video stuff, I've been working on Tamashi. It's... Whew, I just wish things weren't changing so quickly, because I feel bad about when I started it now. Huh. Okay, let's see. Best and worst material to work with. EVA foam. Worst material to work with. Warbler. I said it. Fight me, nerds. Have any words of wisdom to say to any new tokusatsu fans? Try not to take it too seriously. Remember, we're all watching a kid show. And try to have fun with it. And try not to, stomp out somebody else's fun, because they might be new too. Just be nice to each other. Be a lot cooler. Be a late Heisei secondary rider, not an early Heisei secondary rider. You'll understand that one day, I promise. Okay, how does it feel being at the center of what, at least to me, is a big step towards a gigantic growth in the Toku/Kamen Rider community? Love you, Dustin, and I hope you're good. Oh, thank you, Gabba Gimbo. Appreciate you. It's weird. It's really weird. And, even then, I still feel like I haven't done much. I just feel like I've just been a super fan and just trying to get more people into something I really enjoy. And it seems to be working. And I'm really happy to know I'm not the only person out here like this. I remember first when I was getting into it, people were like, "Oh, you're being so cringe about this, bro. Like, what the hell?" And embarrassment's temporary. You can sit there and be embarrassed about being in an outfit and making a fool of yourself, but if you got somebody entertained and willing to go check out the thing that you were there to promote in the first place, you did your job, right? So Yeah, I don't get paid to do this, but this is what I do just as a fan. Imagine if I did get paid, though. That'd be crazy, right? Ugh. I got something in my eye. Anyone? Anyone? No? Nobody? Not even one person? Not one?
Bruh.
Damn. Anyways. Alright, moving along. Okay. So hypothetically, you are opening commissions. Would you charge more for custom work as opposed to commissioning from a known writer's suit? Okay, so I have a really hard time with custom orders. I'm still working on the second one that's like a pure custom thing, and it was just a pure lack of foresight and the lack of reference and stuff like that. So taking on OC characters, I might have to charge more just because without the proper resources, I might not be able to give you the thing that you want, and I might just be wasting everybody's time and resources. I don't want to be doing that. So, if you really want me to work on a indie toku or an OC character or anything like that, get your reference ready. Have really good, as professional as possible reference, because I need as much as I can get. And save up your money. You're looking at the high hundreds, maybe low grands. Really depends on what you need. But at the moment, commissions are not open. I'm very busy with a whole bunch of other things. I'm hoping to be back in full swing sometime next year with the props. But until then, I gotta focus on what I got in front of me, or else I'm never gonna get to it. Okay. So, Kevin asks, what's your suggested method to learn / practice costume making for someone with almost zero experience? Start with simple things. Start with very simple things. First, paper crafting. Paper crafting is a great way to learn how to do shapes. A lot of these costumes I made when I first started as paper crafts. So if you can learn that and learn how to make shapes just by looking at the shape and be like, oh, well, if I fold it this way, oh yeah, that's gonna make this shape I need. Once you start learning the geometry and the feel of them and how to make certain shapes just by doing certain cuts and twists and whatnot, it really starts to play off in dividends. So go make base stuff. But one of the things I remember making a lot of just to get the feel of making EVA foam are just simple round pauldrons or forearm pieces or even a helmet. And if you want to make a helmet, I made a tutorial video about 2 years ago. It's about 40 minutes long, and it's one of the worst produced things I've ever done. But there's a free pattern on there that shows you how to make a base helmet. And if you don't want to do that one, you want to try something else, there's a lot of people that recommend using the Red Hood from Batman as a template to make a foam helmet. So find something that looks simple, round, and start there. If you can build something round and not make it too warped or whatever, and you're satisfied with it, you're on your way. You're already on your way. And watch some other people's videos. Like I said, Builder and Evil Ted, both excellent teachers. All that thing. Lower version because I'm tired. Okay. Okay. Last time I was in Japan, I was really about to buy a Ghost Driver. What was a writer purchase you really wanted to make but didn't due to various reasons? I know exactly which one. There was a Complete Selection Kamen Rider Fives belt at a book off. And if you don't know about the Complete Selection Fives belt, this isn't the CSM. This is the Complete Selection. So 1:1 scale, die-cast metal parts, big ol' hefty clanky cell phone. And they were selling it for $350 essentially, which is steep, but I've seen those things go for at least $1,000. And I even asked the people at Book Off, like, hey, what's wrong with it? And they're like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just been here for a very long time and we need to make more space. The box, I am not kidding. It's here, just for scale. Hold on a second. Just get this out of the way. For scale, we have one super mini plow box, okay? So about that big. It was about, like, that wide. So, like, 6 of these things across, and I'd probably say about 4 or 5 tall. and it was thick, and it's because it's a pure attaché case full of all the Fives gear, and they were selling it for 350, which is a absolute steal for that specific toy. And my dumb brain looks down at the wallet and I'm like, oh, I could totally afford it, and then zooms up and it's like, no, you have to eat and you have to go places. This is all your money for the next 3 weeks. Are you really going to spend it all on die-cast and metal? And I was at the counter almost doing it. I eventually stopped myself because I really wanted to eat. Plus, I finally came to the realization there would be no way for me to ship at home unless I straight up shipped it. And shipping it from Japan at that size, at that time of year, at the rate that I would want to, we're looking at least another $150. So I'd be actually spending close to $500 on it. So yeah, it's the complete selection Fives belt in the Tachikawa book off. I hate you. I want you. Come home. All right, let's see. What if they did an O's 10 years later and made suits of the unused O's forms like Shigazeshi or Picasso? I'd be there for it. I'd be all over it. More O's, please. I want more O's. You don't even have to make new costumes. Just give me more O's. O's 10 years after. Tell me why Tina's strong lady. Tell me. Tell me. Bring back Aqua and not make him get jobbed left and right. Although I was really happy with what happened with him and Zio anyways. But whatever. I was just happy to have him back. Okay. Okay, favorite Sentai suit? Oh, easy, Akiba Red. Favorite and least favorite CSM belt? Okay, so, I don't think I have a least favorite CSM belt just because all the ones that have come out have all been super, super impressive. If there was one where I probably won't get it myself just because I'm satisfied with what I have with the Deluxe set, probably the Double Driver. I'm not a really big fan of just the shell belts and where the gimmicks have all the sounds and all the lights and everything. I really like ones that work in tandem with each other. So ones that do things like that, I'm not a big fan of. So like if there was ever a complete selection gamer driver, unless there was something like really, really impressive with that set, like a bunch of Gashats and it didn't break the bank, maybe. But it wouldn't be what I'd be clamoring for like left and right. Just because I know for a fact it's just a shell. But like, if they put a button in here that made it play music too, then yeah, no, I'd be all for it. But yeah, just the shell belts, I'm not a big fan of. But stuff like the Deca Driver and things like that, pretty good. I like them a lot. Okay, let's see here. Did you ever work on a suit for like a good while and then suddenly you get lazy as fuck and drop it entirely? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I did a swore. Sorry, y'all. I'm really trying not to. Really trying not to. I've been trying to be good about it, but sometimes it just slips. My bad. I'll try to be better about it. But yeah, there was a couple suits where I started working on them and then one thing or another got in the way and I just had to move along. One example is Build Hazard. I was really looking forward to making it, and then I missed the deadline for the convention. And by the time I came back around to looking at it again, I just realized I rushed on some parts, and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to make the suit, I want to do it justice. And that's when I decided I don't want to rush costumes as much anymore. I'm getting kind of tired of rushing to get costumes done. I'd rather really put the effort into it to take my time. So, yeah, probably Build Hazard, but the good news is Build Hazard is currently in Dawnbreaker's hands, and he's in the middle of fixing that up, so maybe we'll see that on the show one day. Okay, I'm going to take 2 more questions, and we're going to call it a night. Alright, let's see here. Let's look for a couple good ones. Mega Dong, I see you, yo. I don't think I have any more questions. So I guess that's it. We're coming up on 2 hours. Oh, wait. Wait. Stop. No more questions. No more questions. I said I was going to stop taking questions after a certain point, and that was a little while ago. No more questions. But if you got questions for me, go check out our Discord. I think I left the link for it down below. I have an AMA thread. So if you have questions for me, drop them in there. If we do another stream, I'll start with those. I had a Q&A stream a while ago, and the footage got corrupted. That was my bad. So I think if I start doing some more streams, more public streams, hopefully we can start having some big Kamen Rider chats and just, hang out, answer some questions, show you guys some stuff that's going on, and just keep you in the loop with what's going on with me. So we're going to try to aim to do one of these at least once a month. But we're going to have also the public cosplay streams, the private Patreon cosplay streams, and the private coaching and advice stuff on Patreon. If you guys like what I do, give me a like and a follow. Go share this with your friends. I'm doing the basic shilling on YouTube now. Look, I don't like doing that kind of stuff, but seriously, if you do like my stuff, like it, comment it, share it around. You'd be surprised how much it actually really does help. Like, I hear all these people on YouTube say, oh, it helps so much. And I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. After actually starting to do this stuff myself more seriously, like, no, yeah, it really does help. You'd be really surprised how much it helps. So please, support smaller creators like me, like and share their stuff. It really does help us. If you want to support me again, Patreon's over the in the ticker. PayPal's down there too if you're inclined to try that. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheNextDecade, and that's where I post about Kamen Rider entirely too much. And yeah, that's about it. I've been up for roughly 48 hours. I am exhausted. This is the reason why I was wearing these, is that you see how deep these bags are under my eyes. Your boy's tired. I'm about to sleep, and hopefully you wake up in about a day or two. Thank you for watching Kamen Rider. Thank you for watching the Heisei streams, and thank you so much for just being around this week. It means the world to me, the people over at Team Rider, and the people over at Bluefin, and all the people over at Toei and Bandai that have been watching us this weekend. Everybody, thank you so much. It's been a blast, and thanks for making this first stream with the new setup a lot of fun. Next time, I hope to show you guys some more. Until next time, I'll catch you later. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.